those hands and lights can't stop me. I'll just hold on for dear life. Yeah, I can't give up this feeling that I get when looking down from the sky. Now with you, now with you, that I get when looking down from the sky. I'll just hold on for dear life. Yeah, I can't give up this feeling that I get when looking down from the sky.
You're doing the intro.
Okay, right. Yes, hello everyone, and welcome to episode 20 of the Chiltern Trainspotters Downfast podcast. Here, the best podcast on YouTube. So it is Saturday, the 13th of March 2021, and our topics today are
Be withdrawn. The class 313 has been converted to a COVID testing area. Passenger figures rose towards the end of last year. ScotRail conductor strike and a HST update. So, should we get on with it?
Yes, so after them exciting topics, our fast topic today will be government-owned Class 365s to be withdrawn. So basically, the remaining Class 365s will be withdrawn from traffic by Go for Your Thameslink Railway at the start of May. Timetable: 21 Class 365, which are all 4-car obviously, electric multiple units will be sent off lease, joining 19 classmates withdrawn by GTR in 2018. Class 365s are used by GTR's Great Northern operation in the London King's Cross to Peterborough/Cambridge and Great Northern routes. Great Northern also uses 29 Class 387-1. So everyone, what do we
Which,
think about the Great Northern Class 365?
well, I think, I mean, I've only ever done them a handful of times, and the last time I did them was over a year ago, obviously before
Yeah,
COVID. I don't think they're even running them in COVID, maybe one or two diagrams. But
yeah,
from what I remember, I think obviously I would much rather travel on a 365 than 387, but
yeah,
I think they're some of the best stock on the East Coast Main Line
yeah, definitely.
in terms of the suburban kind of routes anyway. I think they're suited for what they do because they're at the same time they're high capacity, like in terms of lots of seats, um, and but they're also comfortable because they're only 2+2, but they do have tables, things like that. Sometimes 466s. I think that 365s should have been kept in case of 387s have faults. Well, I think the 365, I think that the reason why where we're drawing them is because I don't really think they need them anymore because of the 387s they have, and secondly, I think I'm not sure. Maybe it's because they're getting old and they're like, how old are they?
Yeah,
30 years old? I mean,
yeah,
Less than
they're like
30,
they're
25.
from the network family, aren't they?
yeah. I mean, they've
So like
got
the 165s, for example, they're like
yeah.
30 years almost. So
hmm
yeah, they're all clocking on a
I
bit.
mean, they had a pretty extensive refurbishment when they switched
Yeah,
from First Capital Connect to Great Northern, like all new interior, yeah, Jesus, interior and things like that, which means yeah. But I think me and Alfie have done them with the Great
yeah,
Northern interior. Liam said he'd never done them before, so 365 is definitely better than the 387 first class. 387 first class is pointless. Yeah, that's the same with all the
Yeah.
first classes on the
yeah.
Electro Star family. They're
I mean,
pretty pointless.
I've only been on a 387 once on Great Northern, and the ride quality is pretty like shocking
Yeah.
for like a modern train. Usually, like the moderner trains have got
hmm
better ride
I mean, they've got
quality.
the
So
ironing board seats like all the other
yeah,
GTR trains, and
and
I guess they're not designed to be long distance. I mean, they're designed to
yeah,
be commuter trains. Like the longest you'll ever do on them is maybe on 387s
an
anyway,
hour
is
and
one
a
and a
half.
half hours maybe.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Mm.
I mean, the last time I walked through a class 387, I walked through it at King's Cross, and it like as I was going through the first class bit, or was it the first class? It was underneath the pantograph area where like the toilets are. It stank of human waste. Let's just say
yeah.
it was quite disgusting, to say the least.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, Liam, what do you think?
It's good that they're being withdrawn, but it shows that COVID isn't gonna. COVID's affected it because they're going from 19 down to 12 because they're getting 12 387s.
Yeah.
yeah.
From who?
Uh,
Oh, Gatwick
anyway, like
Express.
the
Yeah, and
365,
C2C.
the
What are they
365,
doing
there
with
was
Gatwick
only like
Express?
4 diagrams a day.
Yeah.
It's not running. Yeah,
Oh.
it's not running because COVID.
Oh. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Alfie,
Yeah,
continue. Yeah.
yeah. Like on the 365, there's only 4 diagrams a day, which is like two from Peterborough to King's Cross in like the morning peak at about 7 a.m. Then about 5 and 6 p.m. there was only like going up to Peterborough and back,
Yeah.
and that's all they did. And they were only like 4 or 12 365s, like 12 coach.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, it's just
Mm.
quite sad to see such a sort of, they're called the happy train, aren't they? So it's sort of like quite
Yeah, and you can see it
recognisable
in
by
that
the,
picture, right?
yeah, by
Like,
the air conditioning.
Mm.
yeah.
Air conditioning.
I don't know what it
Yeah, it's
is.
quite
It's like
sad.
yeah, it's just a vent, I
Yeah,
think, and then the
yeah,
lights as well.
it's the aircon. Like,
Mhm.
um, yeah, but it's quite sad to see such sort of like a recognisable train being taken out of service, mostly, like because
Yeah, I mean,
we've all like
for a
grown up.
while they were like the biggest trains on the like suburban trains anyway on
Yeah,
the East Coast Main Line. I mean, they had the 317s and
yeah,
321s, but I definitely
but they
I
they
remember
were
going on
but
them a few times when they were when they were First
First
Capital
Capital
Connect, and that was literally not
Yeah.
all you would see running, but most of the things mostly what you'd see running to Cambridge, Peterborough,
Yeah.
and that's
Kings
why they
Lynn.
still run. I don't, I think
Yeah.
the Peterborough ones and the 387 and the Cambridge is completely 387s now because I've been to Cambridge a few times and it's always been
Southern Transport 466. I hope the 365s get by another company, but I don't see that's happening. Maybe they'll be preserved, hopefully.
yeah. I couldn't see them being used by
Mhm.
another
Yeah.
company if I'm honest.
If they were to be used by another company, I reckon it'd be like ScotRail as like a stopgap.
Yeah, I mean they used it
Again,
anyway.
but
They used them before, didn't
yeah,
they?
Yeah.
yeah,
For what was
yeah,
it? It's because the 385s
it was,
hasn't come yet and they were
yeah,
the route was
Mm.
electrified and they didn't have enough 170s or whatever. So
yeah,
I remember that.
yeah.
I
But
never did
it's
it though.
quite sad to see like these trains being removed because we've all like seen them growing up and stuff, and it's just like quite sad
Yeah.
to see such an iconic train being sort of like removed from the network, basically.
Mhm.
It's quite
Mm.
sad.
Uh, I mean, they weren't. I think at this point that they just don't really need. They don't really have the need for them because
Yeah, because it's
like
only like
Mm.
4 trains a day. It's just a bit sort of like they're just lying around, and it's probably costing GTR
a
more
lot of
than
money.
they're making.
Yeah,
Really,
I doubt. I mean, the 387s aren't aren't the most reliable, and neither are the. I mean, 700s I
no.
think are right, but I think 365s. I don't think they're the most reliable trains at the min anymore.
Uh,
'Cause they're right.
EM176 is gutted regarding the 365 I used to work on. Yeah, once again, they are really sad. Higher, by the way.
Yeah,
Yeah, they are really sad. Sort of like they're happy
Mm.
trains, but it's just sad to see them. They weren't even like made a fuss about it.
yeah.
They were just
A176.
one day were there, the next day
Mhm.
they were gone.
Decent
Basically,
trains getting
just quite
bin.
sad.
I prefer
I
three
hope.
fives. The 465 goes 75 and 90 to be. Yeah, 365s do 100. That is another point. I mean, so
It's
the
true.
387s do 110, don't they? So
Yeah,
I guess like there isn't really for GTR anyway. There isn't really a positive thing left. Like
yeah,
apart from the fact, yeah, I can't think of anything really.
yeah,
That GTR would think, oh, we need to keep them. It's just because they had them before. So yeah, not even 30 years
Mm.
old, and
that's
they're
It
that's
could be
sad.
used by Rock, like the
true, but
360s
they're
are.
getting 360s, aren't they? And they already,
Yeah,
There are only
yeah.
5 of them. Like,
True,
yeah.
but
yeah.
I couldn't.
I mean, if they were to be used by ROG, they'd be used as barrier coaches. I think
Yeah,
just
Yeah.
the end of each coach.
110 on 387s are
110.
uncomfortable. I
Yeah,
mean, I don't really. I don't, I cannot. I think I've probably done 110 on 387, but I don't really.
I don't really
pay
like
attention.
387s as a
I
train.
don't
Really, I
mind
just think
them, but they're my least favorite electro stars. But I don't mind them. Like,
yeah. I just think 387s are just quite bread and butter
I hate the
trains.
door
Really,
tones. That's one thing I don't like about them.
Oh, yeah.
The new
I
and on
hate
the
the door tones on the
37.
345.
Yeah, and the 377 dash 6 and dash 7s are kind of newer generation 377s. They
Yeah,
have the like I don't know how I guess they're just next generation door tones. They're really annoying. Like they're
yeah, they're
not.
quite robotic, aren't they?
Same
Yeah.
with the
Compared to like the day
345s.
one
Yeah,
turbo stars.
387s are sealed boxes. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah,
much.
I mean that's all trains are sealed boxes really, but like they're
yeah.
yeah. I mean, I it's the same with the 700s though. Really, like people would know
I
when the
mean, I
319s went from Thameslink. I guess it's kind of the same. You know.
yeah. I mean, the 387s have been with us for quite a few years now, haven't they?
Yeah.
And like, no one's grown
2016.
to like them, but I've sort of
Mhm.
come to like the 700s because
Yeah.
the ride quality is actually quite decent.
Mhm.
They don't sound very
Mm.
nice at speed when you're on a platform,
Yeah.
so the bogies are like sort of ear piercing. But yes, Chiltern still carries on with stock that it's falling off. Yeah,
Well,
it's sad, isn't
they don't
it?
really have any other option, unfortunately. Like,
Yeah,
No.
I wonder what's happening to the GA 379s. They're getting rid of them, I think.
They might go to Great Northern, actually. It might be a rolling stock shuffle where 387s from Great Northern go down to Southern to kick the old stock out,
What the
Yeah.
which would make more
313s?
sense. Yeah.
But why would they do that though? Like, I guess they
Yeah,
don't
I
use.
know.
I
313s are
guess they
really
don't
unreliable.
use the Great
Yeah.
Northern 387s on
Have you
on
seen
Third Rail. So
you know the 313s from Southern Network?
yeah,
Have you seen like they're catching fire so much
yeah, I
recently? Like
saw.
they're not
Yeah, another
major
one caught
fires.
fire
It's
a
like
couple of days ago.
it's not major fires, but it seems like one's catching fire like
Mhm.
every week. But it's not like
It's because they're
terrible. But that's
probably
just
not because they're 46 years old. That must have something to do with it though. That like they're still pushing them
Might have
really
been the
hard
refurb they had.
at 46 years
Mm.
old. I mean,
Yeah.
our next topic is about that, so we'll move on to that. But like, yeah, but I guess it has something to do with their age. Yeah. So do you want to
Yeah.
move on to our next topic now? Let me just. Yeah. Okay.
Southern and southeastern would be solid electro stars. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be quite sad just to see like
Southeastern are getting
one
707,
train.
so aren't they? So
Yeah,
Yeah.
which I'm happy
Zero
with.
cities.
yeah, but
Yeah.
3-for-1-3s are good and bad. Yeah, I agree with that.
Mm.
Yeah, but
Great
anyway,
Northern ones are
our
better.
next topic, as you can see on the screen, is that Southern a Southern Class 313 at Brighton has been converted to a COVID lateral flow testing area. So a Southern Class 313 electric multiple unit is being used as a COVID-19 test centre at Brighton Station. So 313-207 is stabled at platform 8 and is used for twice weekly rapid lateral flow tests for Govia, so GTR railway staff who cannot work from home. So they have approximately 1,250 staff that qualify for these tests. So they're offered by the government and will continue till the end of June. So I watched a video on this earlier from unnamed.
Your boy Jeff Marshall.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah.
I think it's a very interesting idea. Um,
Yeah.
I think
I
it's
found
really
it funny when Jeff Marshall was getting his COVID test and he cut his
Yeah, that was
gagging
funny.
out. He cut the
That was
gagging
funny.
out.
yeah.
It was funny.
Yeah, same 700 but I think it's pretty an interesting idea. So it's like instead of
Yeah.
just setting up a COVID test center in the middle of the like I don't know
Yeah.
in a staff room or somewhere, they decided to put it on a train. I mean,
It's a bold move, isn't it?
it's bold, but
Yeah.
I don't. To me, it's not like the obvious thing to do, if that makes sense.
Like the thing that's going through my head with this is like what damage is that going to do to the unit not being run for like how many weeks was it, like 8 or something?
Until
Yeah.
June.
Yeah. If it's not been run for like till June, that's gonna like properly mess up the unit if it's just sat there, I think.
Especially as it's 46 years old.
Yeah, and it's used to being run continuously every day,
Yeah.
in and out, basically.
I find it weird. I mean, I know they have to do it, but they've covered all the seats with like plastic, and they've added all the
Yeah,
like.
it's because there'll definitely be like COVID positive patients going through the train. Just sort of protect everything.
I think Jeff
I
Marshall's
guess.
video, there's something I don't know what it was, head of customer operations or transport or something, admitted that the 313s aren't as comfortable to ride as a 377. So
Yeah.
that's why, because of the
Mm.
reduced timetable there, they can utilize it basically.
Yeah.
Try find
Which, in
pretty
fairness, they're not. They
interesting.
haven't got the best
No,
sort of quality.
313s are younger than me. 176 said. I mean, yeah, but I mean, for 46 for a person doesn't sound old, but for a train, that is
No.
like
Yeah, 46 for a
very
train,
old.
like sort of should
Like
be
I wouldn't
in,
want. It's like the same with planes. I wouldn't want to fly on a 46-year-old plane. Like,
yeah.
I mean,
I mean,
planes is different, obviously, but like,
I think I'd say 40
mm,
years old is a cut off for
Yeah.
a train.
mm.
Yeah,
And like,
but you
like
know,
I mean, there are other people that only go out on the railways for that old railway stock, like the
yeah,
483s,
or
313s,
go out
315,
just for
317.
steam or just for rail
313-001
job.
is going to the national. Yeah, I heard that in 176.
Yeah.
Seems a bit weird how they're just preserving a 313 though.
Is
Like
313001 the one that's in BR Blue livery?
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's 101, but I think they'll
Okay.
renumber it to 001.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, yeah, it's definitely the one in BR. I'm not sure if it's 001 or 101, but yeah, but yeah, like I don't see why they would preserve a 313 though, apart from the fact it's in BR livery. Like I don't really see what significance it has
yeah,
to.
it's the one in BR Blue.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
I don't.
Oh no,
Yeah.
it's 313201.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that would be renumbered.
Yeah, I don't really see what significant it has to. Yeah, thanks 746. I don't see what significance that much significance it has to the railway
Vortex
network that
privilege.
yeah that they feel the need to like preserve it. I mean, it's good preserving it. It's not a bad thing, but like it just seems
Yeah.
a bit odd. Like it's kind of like preserving, I don't know, preserving a 317 or a 377 when they eventually go out of service in like 20
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
Like it
The
kind of has this
313 is for a new revolutionary design. Yeah, I guess so.
40
But
years
like,
ago, yeah, but now like
if I was to preserve a 313, I'd do a Great Northern one, even though they're
yeah,
all scrapped now and like baked bean cans. But like,
yeah.
I'd preserve
Oh yeah,
a
okay, that makes sense here. 176. I mean,
yeah,
they
I'd
still
preserve a Great
still
Northern one
yeah. I mean, they
because that's got like
yeah,
pantograph on it.
they still have
It's
really
like
fast acceleration though. Like
yeah,
I watched a video on it earlier how they can from off the line they can accelerate faster than the modern day electro stars, which I find pretty um
it's
not
pretty cool, isn't it?
amazing,
Fascinating.
but like yeah, like how a 46-year-old train. I mean, and yeah, off the line their acceleration is the same as a 395, which are
Yeah,
considering that it I mean when the Great Northern 313s, their maximum speed on DC was like 30 miles an hour or 40, I can't remember. And
I think it's
that's
35.
yeah, something like that. But if they can accelerate, I mean, as fast as a 140-mile-an-hour train, that just sounds pretty like weird. How I
But
mean,
then the pep would sort of
yeah,
what's the word? Say it would get out of breath basically at like I don't know, like
uh,
35, 40,
yeah,
50.
because they were designed for 630 volts DC. The Southern is for 850. Yeah, I guess I guess that's yeah yeah
A 313 downhill can easily do 80 miles per hour
yeah.
with the limit with the AC.
They're pretty.
Yeah,
I guess that's an advantage of them at the minute is because they're designed for suburban use, and you don't want a suburban train that accelerates really slowly, like a
yeah,
168 or something like that. They accelerate terribly slowly for what are sometimes used on like the West Rise specials from Marylebone.
yeah.
Um,
I mean,
I mean it's really
earlier on I
damaging
was
to the
going down
168s. When
what
they're like used
stop
when they're
start.
used for stop starts. Yeah,
Yeah, earlier on I was driving down the bypass at Wendover and a 168 was just pulling out the station when I was going past it, and it took me to go along the bypass. Ollie will know what I mean. Along the bypass,
yeah.
around the roundabout, and onto the train bridge. And as I was just getting to the other
About
roundabout,
two
it went over the
miles.
bridge. Yeah, it was like, yeah, it was so slow. I thought it would go over me when I was going onto the bridge. And this bypass is like what, from the station to the roundabout, it's about
Mile, two
three
miles,
quarters of a
two
mile, three
or
quarters of a mile,
I would
a
say a
mile.
mile.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, about a mile. And yeah, I thought it would have caught up, but it didn't
yeah.
until I got onto the bridge and about half a mile down the road, and I just
That's
saw
the
it.
thing with a 165. I was on a 165 once, and so there was a 168 delayed 168 in front of us, and that left, and straight after we left, once the line was clear, and we caught up to it straight almost instantly. Like, so we were stuck behind it until it got above
Yeah,
75, because obviously, um, the 165s only go 75, the 168s go 100. 168s don't go into final drive until 70. Once it goes into
yeah,
I guess it's because
50.
168s are designed as long distance trains rather than
Yeah,
165. I heard that the
yeah,
168s, if they constantly use like stop start, it's like damaging to the gearbox, and I mean not damaging, but
yeah.
like wears out the gearbox more quicker
Yeah.
than yeah.
I mean, a 165 going to final drive, it will get. Say you're going from like Missenden to Wendover, it's sort of about a mile down the track. It goes into
Yeah.
three quarters of a mile, I'd say, or a mile. It goes into final drive at
hmm
50, which is it's not terrible
hmm
acceleration,
Yeah.
but it's not the best
Mm.
by a long shot, is it?
Yeah, I mean, it's not saying that 168s as you know, they are quite slow, but like off the line. But
They're faster than some trains.
yeah, but then
Yeah.
they're you know what we're
Yeah,
trying to say. Like it's like the 172. I don't know. I think the 172s are not quick, but they're definitely quicker than the ones because they have the gear. I don't know if that has anything to do with it though. Like I think the 172s are quicker off the line than 161 off than 168. So I'm not sure about
Mm.
yeah,
165s.
172s are pretty rapid.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
sort of
again
off
because
the
they're
line.
designed more because they were designed for the overground, weren't they? Well, I mean the
Yeah.
dash ones
The
and
dash
dash
ones,
zeros
yeah.
were. So I think they weren't and West Midlands, so they weren't designed for like long distance.
EM176,
The-
I agree with that. The Chiltern should
Yeah,
be
I was
electrified.
reading the rail magazine earlier, and there's someone I can't remember who it was, but someone was some big group was campaigning for it, or not like but campaigning, but recommended it to the OOR. So we'll see how that goes. And we talked
Yeah.
about how before how they're upgrading all the bridges along the line as well. So yeah,
Yeah.
172 is ZF mechanical drive. Yeah, you can hear the gears. That's how it's mechanical. Like when it speeds up. Don't forget the max speed of 166.75, which normally is well 166s on Great Western and can do
And go
90.
100.
So
Oh yeah,
165-1s and 166-1s and 2s
twos.
can
Is it ones
do.
or twos?
They're both, I
Yeah.
think, can do
Okay.
90. Well, Chiltern
Yeah.
165-0s can only do 75. I don't know why that is. I just think
I
that's
heard it's
how they were
due to
built.
the being something out. Because
Yeah,
the trip clock
I'm
was
not
being fitted
sure.
and that. And
It
then
could be. It could be just something to do with
the
the map.
thing,
I don't know.
yeah, but I think
Yeah,
the thing that they
176.
took out, sort of it was the thing that allows the train to go 90, sorry, and that's why the 165s can't go 90.
It's like the
I
same
think.
things they did with the 360s and 350s, how they increased them
Yeah.
from 100 to 110. Oh yeah, 7.466.
Because they took them out, didn't they?
Yeah,
Or did they not? I think they needed to
yeah.
trip clocks. That's what I heard,
It's just
but I'm not too sure on that.
yeah. I think back to the
But
topic
yeah.
though. I think the fact that they're engaging in rapid testing for their staff is really good, and how they're yeah. I mean, we've all had a few. I mean, I've had two, and I think Liam's had one. And how many of you had Alfie?
What COVID
COVID test,
tests
like
overall?
yeah. Oh God, Alfie's had like
Oh,
yeah,
overall,
Oh,
I've
you've
had
had
like
loads.
about 8 COVID tests.
yeah.
I get symptoms like a lot,
Mm.
and I just need to double check sometimes.
I mean,
Because yeah,
I have we have them. Obviously, we have to have them twice a week now for school. I mean,
yeah,
I think the newer lateral. I mean, this is a lateral flow test, and how you get your result in half an hour, whatever. So it's easier, but they're
yeah.
definitely not as bad as the PCR test, from what I've heard.
Oh, that's good news. EM176. Yeah,
Okay,
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
that's
that's
good.
good.
I
yeah,
think they're doing over 40s now, aren't they? Which I think is pretty
Yeah.
good. I mean,
yeah.
I
How was
think
it EM176? My nan had hers, and she sort of she said she had a bad reaction, but I think that was just her overreacting.
I think lots
Yeah,
of people
Mm.
say they have a bad reaction because you see all the things which are like, oh,
yeah. It's just the
I
anti-vaccination.
mean that's like what you have for most vaccines. You'll have your arm will hurt for a bit. That's just how a vaccine works, really.
Yeah.
Like they're injecting directly into your muscle,
Yeah,
and if you've got a tiny hole in your muscle for a bit, then like of course it's gonna. I mean that sounds really bad, but like of course it's gonna hurt.
yeah. When I had my vaccinations in what I think it was year 8, and my the arm they put it in, it went like sort of rock solid. Like
Yeah,
it was hard. It was like hard to push down
yeah.
Mm.
for about 2 weeks,
I hate
and
this
they
when you put
said,
it down your mouth. Yeah, I don't think that I don't gag when I have COVID tests.
No.
So
yeah, I've just from the first time I had a test, I had really really bad gag reflexes, but now
yeah, because you've had
it's
them a
like, well,
lot.
it sounds weird, but they've got better now because I've had to put one down nearly like week in week out
Yeah,
with my symptom.
yeah.
But
It's
yeah,
better just to check
Mm.
that it's better just to check though. Always
yeah,
always
because if
be
you
Yeah.
safe and sorry.
they force not force you, but they highly recommend that you get tests if you've got any symptoms,
Yeah.
don't they? So it's just best to
Mm.
I
check.
mean, it's not just people with symptoms that have COVID anyway. It's like 1 in 3 people just don't have any symptoms. And I think
Yeah,
in
and that's why it's so
theory,
important to
so
get
that
masks,
in
isn't it?
theory, one of us here has had COVID or like has had COVID and had no symptoms. Like
Yeah,
that could be more,
Yeah.
obviously, it could be less. I mean,
like for all you know, you could have had like COVID 8 times and just not
yeah,
had
I mean,
symptoms.
obviously it's like probably not impossible, but extremely unlikely. So, um, yeah, I'm not trying to scare
I
anyone that
think
they've
it's
had
good
COVID
that
8 times.
I think it's good that the government are sort of bringing in is it twice weekly tests
Yeah,
now, which is I think
Yeah.
it's a really good
It
thing.
means that in
Yeah.
the UK they're testing like 1,400,000 people a day, which is pretty.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty ironic how the
Yeah.
test kits are made in China as well.
Yeah.
How they have to ship them over and like.
Yeah. Let's not go down the road of Chinese
No.
vaccines and stuff and like. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chinese
there's
tests.
conspiracy
Yeah.
about the
Mhm.
stuff. But no, let's not go down that road.
Anyway, I
But
think
yeah.
we'll move on to our next topic now, which is that towards the end of last year, passenger figures rose, by 23% of pre-COVID levels. So the number of people traveling by train rose during the last 3 months of last year, in spite of the renewed lockdown in November, according to figures released by the Office of Rail and Road. So journeys made using season tickets were up to 23% of COVID levels, amounting to 36.4 million compared to 15.1 million during July, August, and September. However, the pre-pandemic total for October-December 2019 has been 156 million. So the passenger revenue in Britain for October to December 2020 was 641 million, or 23% of the 2.7 billion collected in the same quarter last year. I have already had corona and I didn't have any symptoms. Yeah, sometimes of course that's the point we're trying to make. But yeah,
Like,
I think it's
it's almost
interesting.
scary, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's interesting how with the lockdown in November that of this that the levels of COVID were that high. Not Jesus. I mean, like the levels of passenger traffic was that high. Obviously, this is not just lockdown. This is all the way from September to December. And I guess people traveling for Christmas probably had some part of it in it. I mean, I don't think. I mean, the rules were because they changed the rules for Christmas like 5 days before, didn't they? Like we went into tier 4, and what else happened? Yeah, they changed the rules for some of the rest of the country as well. It was like you're allowed to meet one other household. Um, so obviously it would have been more people traveling for Christmas if it had stayed how they originally wanted it to stay. Um, but yeah, I mean, when we didn't travel, I think the last trip we made last year, um, was in God, I can't remember. I think December when we maybe the government should have kept us in lockdown last year to 18th July, and we should have had. I think that sounds a bit extreme though. Um, yeah. Uh, But yeah, so I think our last trip in December was December last year, probably the beginning of December. We did, I think when we went to Luton and did Hitchin and Welling North as well. Um,
Was announced
yeah,
19th.
19th of so but that was our last trip probably we did. And that it was still really busy then. I remember we were at Hitchin waiting to go back down towards Welling North where we were parked, and the platform was not packed, but it was pretty busy still with pretty. I mean, I think it's a good thing though that they were back to. It would have some travel 466, but that's the case with anything. Like, I think I much rather be out and about with like because you're gonna have to learn to live with it eventually. So like but the cases obviously they are going to go down, but they're also they're it's inevitably going to go back at some point anyway, go back up at some point anyway. So like I think sometimes people's like kind of not like mental health and rather than being in lockdown for a whole year is much more important in some cases. Yeah, so I mean, Alfie, what do you think of this? Like, of the whole passengers traveling on trains like during COVID? Okay, interesting. Yeah. So, um, Liam, what do you think?
I can understand if people are travelling because obviously home life can be bad and stuff like that.
Hmm.
But yeah,
What do you think of people being worried to travel on trains and traveling over the summer, things like that?
You shouldn't be worried. There's nothing
Yeah,
to worry about.
yeah.
It's so much cleaning.
The figures will go down now the fares have gone up. I see what you mean, but I guess there are people that will just sort of
Yeah,
buy that just won't pay for tickets anymore. That it's got so bad that I mean that's what the government have chosen to do in the DFT, I guess. So um yeah, like
yeah,
I saw this thing on social media the other day, and it was a guard posted something about just working for their company, and in the comments were loads of people talking about, well, if the fares are so high, like you know we can't pay for tickets, blah blah blah. Like I think that's the kind of impact that it's gonna have for a while. So yeah. Um, Anyway, I think we'll move on to our next topic now, which is that. Hold on, let me just find it. Yeah, so ScotRail conductors vote to strike over pay. So conductors on ScotRail who belong to the RMT have voted to strike in a dispute over overtime pay. So the union has complained that the conductors are paid less than drivers for working rest days, although an agreement between ScotRail and ASLEF or ASLEF for drivers to be paid extra for rest days has been extended from January to October. Um, so the vote for industrial action was 353 in favour and 117 against on a turnout of 75%. But ScotRail said it is the wrong decision for staff and passengers. So obviously ScotRail is the only well, not the only operator, but the majority operator of Scotland's railways, which is fare dodging has gone up because some people can't get to where they need to go, so people will fare dodging, even though I don't condemn it. Yeah, I don't condemn it, but I can see the reasons why people might do it because the fare prices are so expensive that at this point, like, you can't justify having to pay £8 to get from Amersham to Great Missenden and back, which is a journey of probably 6 miles in total. Yeah, but obviously I'm not saying fair of a, but yeah, and there are lots of people that I know that go to schools and things that just don't pay for tickets because it's so expensive. So
Like £600
yeah,
a year,
yeah,
which
from Amersham
like
to Great
some people
Missenden.
just can't afford that.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's about £600 a year. Now, some people just like probably can't afford that. Like they can't afford that, and it's
yeah,
just ridiculous money for
for
such a
six
short
miles
journey.
in one way.
Yeah,
I mean both ways.
yeah,
Um,
but it's just it's mental.
Yeah, in terms of the ScotRail thing that sometimes before 66 is talking about here, I think guards are probably. I mean, there are a few guards we know that guards are probably some of the most important because they basically have not overriding overall control of the train in certain situations. Oh yeah, but like
yeah, obviously.
apart from the driver, but like in some situations, say
Like they've got the sort of overall protection of passengers, haven't they?
yeah.
Like
And without
Yeah,
the, I mean, obviously loads of there was that whole thing in 2018 with the um strikes for the DOO and like things like that. But th- I think guards are probably I would say should be mandatory because um I
yeah,
I mean
yeah,
there lots of guards are friendly and you could just talk to them, but also they're vital to the safety of the train in some cases. In lots of cases actually. Like, yeah, I mean, Alfie, what do you think of guards? Like, just overall,
yeah,
guards are good and bad, but they do help when there's a fight. Yeah, Southern Transport 466.
yeah,
I mean that can be issues and just general issues where accidents happen and there's no one to solve them apart from the driver, and if they're moving and can't
yeah,
yeah,
stop, like them, yeah, I guess. Guards are responsible for passengers. Yeah, Ian176 said, and then
the
and then
drivers are
drivers are responsible for
responsible
the
for like
train. Well, driving, obviously.
yeah.
yeah.
pretty much.
But I think
Like, I
guards.
think
Yeah. I mean, on
if you was travelling on Chiltern,
yeah,
like the silver sets would be the safest trains to drive on.
yeah. I
But
mean,
like drive on
Yeah.
and work
Chiltern's
on.
situation with guards is pretty interesting. I think, like, they
Yeah.
have guards. So the majority of their metro services are DOO.
God free.
Yep, and anything that travels past Banbury and all the silver sets, because you can't operate a Mark 3. Mark 3s are DOO, have
Yeah.
guards. I have no idea why that is, but like, I mean,
On the metro services, you can get guards from
but they're not
Missingdon
guards.
to Aylesbury. Well, sort of ticket inspection.
They're not
But
guards.
yeah,
They're
they're not
like
guards.
they're
not
called
They're
guards,
just
but they're
revenue
basically basically revenue
protection.
inspectors. They don't have any control of the train.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's true.
But
But yeah,
yeah,
it's a strange situation on Chiltern with guards.
yeah. I would say I'm not sure, to be honest. I mean, the guards on Chiltern, they don't actually have full control of the train anyway, because with the doors, they open the doors, but the driver actually closes the doors. They have a
Shuts them.
10 bell system where so
Yeah.
when the guard tells the driver to close the doors, it's three dings. Driver replies, three dings, closes the doors, and then it's the like typical 4 bell. But the guards do actually release the doors. Guards were for the absolute block north of Banbury. Oh, so I guess they just kept it like that in 176 then. I don't
Yeah.
like revenue inspectors who don't sell tickets. Well, yeah, lots of train operating companies now have rules that if you don't buy a ticket before you
Yeah.
travel, because most of them have ticket machines, that
I mean, you do have. I don't know if it's still a thing, but I remember on like the northern services, you had the promise to pay scheme, didn't you?
yeah,
Where you get a ticket for free and you promise to pay like the guard. But yeah, I don't know if that's still a thing.
yeah, that was I think that was I think that was just northern. That was in a lot of
Yeah.
because they had the permit to travel tickets, didn't they? Which was
Yeah.
that is that what you're talking about? Like,
No,
or
on Northern it was an actual thing. You could
oh,
buy a
okay,
ticket to anywhere in the country for free,
yeah,
but then you'd have to like promise to pay the fare
Yeah.
to like a guard that you'd see. So say you was getting from let's say Leeds to
London.
Penzance.
Also, okay, we'll go with
Um,
Penzance.
yeah, that'd be on the day like I don't know £200 ticket, and like you'd promise to pay. Say you was getting on at Leeds and then go to King's Cross, you'd have
Yeah.
to promise to pay the guard.
Who keeps barking
that-
in 176 head? A dog. I don't know
I-
whose dog it is.
Yeah, it's a dog.
Yeah.
It's not mine.
It's not mine either, so it
Well,
is.
My dog can't bark like that, so
It's not mine because my door's shut. I don't know who it does. Yeah, it's
My
a
door's
dog.
shut.
Huh. So, yeah, but it's a dog. Yeah. Also, I'll try and work out whose it is, but it does. Yeah.
yeah. Say you're traveling from Den Golf Club, which gets like a couple trains a day or hourly. You don't want to miss a train if you're in a rush. Yeah, the permit to travel at Denham Golf Club isn't actually working anymore. It's got one of them like what they call covers over them.
Yeah.
And like
They've got a
anyway,
new shiny
most-
ticket machine.
yeah, they've got a ticket machine. But if you're in a rush and your train's like, I wouldn't get a ticket personally if it was like one train every 2 hours. I'd just pay it like say I don't know Wembley Stadium where I'm getting off.
Yeah.
It would just be easier. Like as long as you pay your fare.
Yeah.
In,
I think
the end,
I think
it's
it's
Yeah.
fine. But I remember when they had the permit to travel, and you had to. That was just because the station didn't have ticket machines, though. I don't think that was
Yeah.
because. Yeah, I mean,
Was
lots
the
of the
permit to
Chiltern
travel
stations
like
still
an
have
actual
them.
ticket?
Yeah, it gave
Or
you a
was-
little ticket, and a lot of the
Yeah, I
Chiltern
remember-
stations had them till a few years ago until they got their new ticket machines they have at every
Yeah.
station now.
But would it be like the permit to travels? Was that like an actual ticket so you could just go like one?
Yeah,
stop or
no, it was
something?
like 75p, and
just
it lasts
so
an
you could get on the
hour
train?
or half an hour, and
Oh,
you would pay the guards basically.
oh,
I think
nice.
it's 10p. No, you could put any amount in up to like £2, and it would
Yeah. Oh, it's pretty nice.
pretty
yeah. Pretty good idea.
interesting. Yeah. Anyway, I think we'll move
Yeah.
on to our next final topic now, which is that EMR HSTs are to be withdrawn by May after 46 years on the Midland Main Line. So I don't really have anything to say for this one, but after 46 years on the Midland Main Line, the HSTs have been withdrawn. not long after actually they received not new, but HSCs has been released from LNER to add extra capacity basically.
Yeah.
So actually it's pretty sad. But it's kind of following in the footsteps of the Great Western Main Line and um East
Mhm.
Coast Main Line, which withdrew their HFCs a while ago now, actually. But yeah,
Yeah.
um, but to I don't know I don't know what the word is to comprehend not comprehend to go along with this basically. EMR have
Comply.
no, just
Is
just
comply the word?
to
No.
go along with it.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I keep thinking I'm going to say EM176 instead of EMR. EMR have yeah, more Hitachi trash.
They're
EMR
not that
Hmm.
bad, but
yeah, we talked about it last week. No, a while ago we talked about the new interior for it. I will yeah, I'll find the video and you probably were there, but yeah, they've repainted 43302 into its original 43102 intercity livery, in which it broke the speed record 148 mile an hour between York and North Allerton a long time ago in 1970 or 80 something. Um,
Yeah.
Obviously, this is just to not promote. There are HST at Wilson Junction. Yeah, I saw that. South Western Rail Spotter. It's because Eastleigh Works is full up, so so they don't have any space to put them in. So they're in the Wilson. They're not at Wilson Junction. I don't think but they're in the Wilson side of
area.
Wilson Depot. But yeah, I think
Yeah.
I think it'll be sad. The EMI ATCs will see. I don't think so. Southern Transport 466. They're designed by like local.
They're
Uh,
the same as the flats.
yeah. So
Mhm.
745s and 755s. Those kind of features.
Yeah.
Which I think are all right. If I'm honest.
Yeah. They're
They're
quite
better than
comfortable.
them.
The best of
So they're
better than
like
the current
comfier than them.
IATs. Yeah. Uh,
Yeah.
But I think it will definitely be sad to see them go after 47 years, 46, almost 47 years. So I think it's pretty cool, not cool, interesting for a high-speed train, which was originally meant as a stopgap, and we've talked about it loads of times before. But yeah, I think it's interesting though how they only recently just got the kind of capacity booster HSTs from LNER, and now they're just retiring them so soon. I guess it's obviously because of the
Mm.
PRM requirements as well, but like they're not really having anything to replace them apart from the 5 180s that they have, or four, but that's not very much, and they don't. And it's pretty hard to run away AC for a whole day without it breaking
Yeah.
down anyway. So like, um, yeah, they are 466, and it is good. Um, yeah, but they're not getting anything directly to replace them until I think actually no, I think the 360s are coming in when they are retired, which hopefully is
Yeah.
replacing them on the London to Corby route anyway. But the actual 810
Wait. So the
Auroras are
360s are going to be going into London. I thought they were just a regional.
uh, what the
I don't know then.
360s? No, they're doing
Yeah.
360s.
Corby to London, 110 mile an hour
Bloody
running.
hell.
They're
That's
getting
quite a
refurbished
bit
with
of
2+2 as well, which is pretty interesting. So
yeah.
we'll see how that goes. But yeah, and
When
they're
are they
getting
coming
the
in?
actual 810s late in 2023 or something. So
Okay.
yeah, but they look
Yeah. When
Mm.
interesting.
are the 360s coming in service? Like
May
May.
2020 this year, May 2021.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Oh.
Yeah, they've all been transferred recently, and they're doing like the
Yeah.
tests
They're doing
and
testing on it, aren't they?
yeah, Alfie. So yeah,
Right around here. They were absolute tips, weren't they?
They
Like
were
they were.
horrible.
same with Heathrow Connect. I mean, they've gone to ROG now, but I
Yeah.
don't know what they're going to be used for. Alfie, do you know?
I think they're just going to be barrier coaches.
Yeah, yeah, same. But I don't know. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, yeah. So it is past 45 minutes now, but I think voyages from Avanti or Etsy, no, then that's not going to happen. Avanti voyages are going to cross country when they go, and so
Yeah.
possibly the Meridians
Yeah.
from EMR when they leave. But yeah. So that is all we have time for today on the Down Pass Podcast episode 20. 20 weeks we've been doing this. Um,
Mental.
yeah. So we do hope
Mm.
that you enjoyed watching today, and we will see you hopefully next Saturday, same time at 7 p.m. So it's goodbye from me.
It's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from me.
So thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you later. Bye bye.